More and more commercial and government customers are looking for ways to simplify their operations and consolidate their data so they can make better, more informed decisions, especially as they consider a transition to electric vehicles. Most of them have to piece together and finance vehicles, charging solutions and software from different sources and set up separate services. That's where Ford Pro comes in. We offer comprehensive solutions that help you build what you need, truly a one-stop shop for businesses of any size, within any industry, regardless of the makes and models. We work hard to help make everything less difficult for you. Here's how we do it. Ford Pro offers vehicles to fit the demand of every job. Whether you need trucks, vans, or SUVs, gas, diesel, hybrid, or electric vehicles, we've got it. As America's best-selling line of commercial vehicles for 39 years, we combine our proven commercial success with advanced technology to help your business simplify operations, improve uptime, and transition to electric. And we have services designed to support non-Ford vehicles too. So you see, we have the right ingredients to give you a one-stop shop experience with the goal of delivering exceptional productivity tools and solutions for all aspects of your organization. We know you have a lot to manage, so our software solutions help to simplify operations by monitoring vehicles and delivering key data insights to help you manage effectively and efficiently. We're well aware that vehicle downtime means lost revenue for you. That's why our software is designed to work directly with our vehicle servicing options to help you improve uptime. We want to keep your vehicles on the road and working for you. When it comes to going electric, our Ford Pro experts are here to assist with that transition. From choosing the right vehicles and chargers, to the software and financing to manage it all, we'll steer you every step of the way. To learn even more about how Ford Pro means more productivity, more uptime, and potentially lowering the total cost of ownership, visit fordpro.com.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining us at the Ford Pro Power Up Academy webinar. I'm Errol Bomar and I'll be your host. Now, if you're new to these Ford Pro webinars, we've been deep diving into topics that can benefit businesses of all kinds and sizes. Helping us along the way have been Ford Pro professionals and some of our customers, giving you real insight into how Ford Pro products and services can benefit a business's day-to-day work. Today, we'll be covering the customization you can achieve through upfitting and the Ford Pro Vehicle Integration System 2.0. Our vehicles are designed to help you get hard work done. Upfitting your vehicle and the enhanced capabilities made possible through our available Vehicle Integration System 2.0 can fine-tune your fleet vehicle to help increase uptime, improve reliability, and help with driver and vehicle security. And later, we'll take a detailed look at the legendary Ford Super Duty truck with a member of our Ford Pro team who knows it very well, so you can get a better understanding of how this hardworking truck can help get your day-to-day work done. It's built Ford tough and tested in extreme ways, and that means it can survive your industry. By the time we're finished here, you'll have a better understanding of what upfitting options you have with Ford vehicles and the many customization options that come with upfitting. Plus, you'll learn how the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 can help seamlessly integrate upfit equipment into the vehicle. You'll also have a better idea of the upfitting options available for the Ford Transit vans and Super Duty trucks. In a little bit, we'll be speaking with the Director of Technical Operation at Scelzi Enterprises, Scott Martin, to get a real look at how upfitting vehicles and using the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 has benefited their work. But first, we need a clear understanding of what upfitting is and what it means in the world of Ford Pro. Earlier, I had the pleasure of speaking with Andrew Brown, and he gave me the lowdown on everything you need to know. Let's take a look. Andrew, thanks so much for joining me here today. First off, how are you? How's the day going?
Hey, Errol, it's going good. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. So what I like to do is just kind of start with some of the basics, all right? So that way our viewers out there can get a real good handle on everything. So let's start simple. What does it mean to upfit a vehicle?
Yeah, so upfitting a vehicle at the simplest level is taking a vehicle, whether it's a truck, van, or any product, and modifying it to meet your job's needs. So it could be something simple like a ladder rack or something more complicated like a service body. But at the end of the day, you're making your truck more capable to do the job that you need.
Got it. So let's say I'm a business owner and I'm looking to upfit my vehicle. How do I get started? How do I even get an upfit?
Yeah, if you're a business owner looking to find an upfitter, Ford Pro has resources for you. So we have nearly 40 qualified upfitters. And on the FordPro.com website, we have a locate an upfitter tool that allows you to search by vocation or location to find someone nearby who will meet all of your business needs.
So you heard Andrew, folks. If you're out there and you're searching for a credible upfitter, or even if you're looking for a vehicle that already is upfitted, then you can check out the link that's on the screen right now. That'll help you start your journey to finding either that upfit professional or maybe even a vehicle that's already upfitted to meet your needs. So Andrew, let's get into the nuts and bolts of everything. Okay, so um, let's talk a little bit more about what kind of upfits are available for different vehicles.
Yeah, so there are many different upfits available, and it really depends on the type of job or vocation. A small upfit would be something like a graphics package or a decal that you might put on your vehicle to advertise your business. A medium upfit might be some strobe lights and some other aftermarket accessories, and then a more serious upfit would be something like installing a service body or a dump truck or something that you're going to use primarily to actually do work on your vehicle. So there's a wide range of upfits and customized functionality that you can have.
What are some common vehicle configurations are possible or that you maybe see quite often?
Yeah, so some common upfits that customers might see driving around town would be like an ambulance or a shuttle bus. These are great examples of upfit vehicles that are designed with a very specific purpose in mind. Other upfits that you might see would be like dump trucks for landscaping companies or crane trucks for utility companies. The more you look, the more you'll see them all over town. But there's a wide variety of upfits, and they're made to help you get hard work done quickly.
I get that. Okay. So keeping in mind with, like you mentioned, vehicles being upfitted for a specific job, I know that recently Ford is offering factory installed trade accessory packages on our transit cargo vans. So can you take some time to explain to our viewers what that is and how it works?
So these trade-specific packages are factory-installed options, which means that they don't need to go to an upfitter to be ready to go. So this reduces the amount of time between when the vehicle order is placed and when it arrives on the job site. So we're really trying to make things simpler.
It sounds that way. So break that down a little bit more for us. What type of packages are currently available that they can order directly from the factory?
Yeah, so we picked a couple of common vocations to target and then deliver packages that help make their jobs easier. So electricians, HVAC technicians, general contractors, and delivery trucks are what we focused on. And depending on what package you select, the shelving and the storage and the components of the outfit will be different and tailored to fit the tools of those trades.
Okay, Andrew, I want to talk a little bit more about the Vehicle Integration System 2.0. Now, I understand that that's not as visible as the factory installed trade accessory package, but tell us what it is, how it works, and why it's just as impactful.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 is a very powerful tool, and it's both a hardware and a software solution. So what that means is there's both a module on the vehicle and a software tool that you use to program it. So the module on the vehicle or the hardware portion of this allows the upfitters or the dealer to have a single point of access to over 100 different vehicle signals. This is great news to the upfitters because it allows them to access vehicle signals without having to cut into factory wiring harnesses or use aftermarket third-party modules to get that same data. It also allows you to interact with the vehicle's touchscreen. So the upfitters can program specific digital buttons or switches to actually operate some of the upfit equipment. So for example, you can have a button for strobe lights or different features that the upfitter programs. And the way they program it is with the software portion of it. So that's the Upfitter Logic Editor tool that's available to download at fordpro.com for an upfitter with a FIN code or any dealer. So what this is, it's a cloud-based software tool that's easy to use, and the upfitters can then program customizable function with the tool on their laptop. Then they plug into the vehicle through the OBD2 port. They push the configuration to the vehicle, they test it, and it's ready to go.
Now, I know the viewers out there, the first question is simplicity. How easy is this system to implement into an existing fleet?
Yeah, so it is pretty straightforward. And when it comes to getting up to speed as an upfitter or a dealer, there's a little bit of training involved to learn how to use the logic editor tool, but we've tried to keep this as simple as possible as well. There's no coding required. It has a pretty straightforward drag and drop user interface. And there's a lot of Ford Pro learning resources available as well. So once the upfitter has that information, once they have the logic editor downloaded on their computer, they're going to be ready to go and get your fleet updated.
I love that. So it sounds like they download and install the Ford Pro Upfit Logic Editor software. And like you mentioned, there's not a lot of coding. So it sounds like it's a fairly easy system to get acclimated with once you take the proper steps, you get the assistance from Ford Pro, and then follow the steps. Once you get those things in place, or like you mentioned, if it's already standard in the vehicle that you've ordered, it just kind of helps you get this up and running that much easier. Now, Andrew, from your experience and what you've seen, is there anything else about the installation process or setup process that you would want our viewers to be aware of?
I think it's pretty straightforward, but I do think as a customer, just keep in mind that if you have this module and you want your upfitters to utilize the system, just let them know the type of features or functionality, because there is just a wide range of functions that the system enables. And we do have a lot of resources on the fordpro.com website. There is a vehicle integration system 2.0 page that lists some more resources about different features and functions that can be enabled. So if you're interested in learning more, I definitely suggest looking there too.
That sounds like, Andrew, another simple reason why to have that Ford Pro account. Now, if someone out there doesn't have a Ford Pro account, they can set one up pretty easily, right?
Yeah, Ford Pro accounts is very straightforward to set up. On the fordpro.com website, there's pretty clear instruction as far as submitting information and then getting your account set up and ready to go.
Andrew, all of this is great information and very vital and need to know. But I know a lot of our fleet managers or even fleet owners are going to ask, what am I getting out of it? So from your experience and what you've been able to see in helping customers, what's something about this new way that maybe is better than how upfitting was done in the past?
Yeah, so I mean, that's a great question. And I would boil it down to really 2 points. It would be reduced cost and improved functionality of your upfit vehicle. The reduced cost would be through reduced upfit time. So with the vehicle integration system 2.0, the upfitter is able to access all of the vehicle signals in one central location, which is that hardware module we talked about previously. There's less cutting, splicing, removing door panels, removing trim panels, less risk of things to break in the process. And there's less need for the upfitters to have to purchase and install aftermarket modules or switch packs. So all of that boils up into less upfit time and less upfit cost. So it should be a cheaper end product to the fleet customer. And then additionally, through the customizable logic tool, there's new functions that couldn't necessarily be done previously through traditional upfit methods. So there's very unique features that we offer through the vehicle integration system 2.0. The upfitter idle function is a great one where the operator can actually pull the key out of the ignition, the engine will stay running, and they're able to lock the truck and prevent anyone from driving away in it. Another neat feature is the shift interlock feature, where they're able to program the system to prevent the vehicle from shifting out of the park based on either vehicle signals or signals from the upfit. So it could be something like your crane truck, the crane is still deployed and the vehicle won't shift out of the park. Or it could be like somebody left the door open on the vehicle and then it will prevent the vehicle from shifting out of the park. So those are just a couple of examples of really unique features and functions that the vehicle integration system 2.0 enables without additional modules, harnesses, and access to those specific vehicle signals.
Andrew, thanks again for your time. I appreciate you being here and really breaking down not only upfitting, but the vehicle integration system 2.0 in a way that is clear, concise, and digestible. And you're going to be coming back to do a walk around on the Super Duty, right?
That's right.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you get prepared for that walk around. I want to thank you for your time and for being here with us. And again, for the great explanation of all of the possibilities that are available with Ford Pro. Andrew, thanks again for being here with us and spending this time.
Of course, thanks for having me. It was great talking to you.
Thanks again, Andrew, for sharing. That was extremely informative. Now, before we move on to our customer interview, I need to check and make sure that you're absorbing all of this valuable information. It's time for a Power Up Pop Quiz. First question. Which one of the following is an example of an upfitted vehicle? A, a bucket truck. B, a plow truck. C, a vehicle with a graphic on the driver's side door. D, all of the above. The correct answer is D, all of the above. A, B, and C are all examples of the different kinds of upfits. Don't forget, upfits can be complex, like taking the chassis of a vehicle and designing it from the ground up, or it can be as simple as a logo on the door. Next question. Which of the following is not a factory installed trade accessory package offered on the Ford Transit cargo van? A, electrician trade package. B, HVAC trade package. C, general contractor trade package. D, paranormal investigator package. Now, if you chose D, you're right. Although, never say never. I mean, after all, once I get my ghost hunting business up off the ground, I'm gonna go talk to my friends at Ford Pro and see what they can make for me. I hope you did well on our Power Up Pop Quiz. Don't worry though, I'm not grading anything. In fact, I think the best way to learn something new is to listen to those who've had firsthand experience on the matter at hand. So, regardless of how you did on the quiz, you can learn a little bit more about upfits and the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 during our next interview with a customer who used them to make their business better. Let's take a look. Hello, everyone. I am here with Scott Martin, Director of Technical Operation for Scelzi Enterprises. Scott, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I am super excited for this conversation because typically we're sitting down with customers or businesses that are utilizing Ford Pro and their services. But Scelzi Enterprises is an upfitter that's responsible for customizing the vehicles. So Scott, before we get too far into it, for our viewers out there, can you just give us an idea, a little bit more insight into Scelzi, how long you guys have been in business, where you're located, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So Scelzi Enterprises is a family-owned company. We've been in business for just over 45 years, and we're actually a manufacturer and upfitter of truck bodies. So we build service bodies, flatbeds, dump trucks, water trucks, contractor bodies, and pretty much anything in between. We currently employ a little over 450 people, and we are operating out of 5 locations in the Western U.S.
For those that are not familiar with what a day in the life of an upfitter looks like, can you run us through maybe just a high-level overview of a typical day at Scelzi and like kind of how it starts and all the fun stuff that goes into it?
Yeah, so a typical day at Scelzi, everything comes in as flat steel. We manufacture everything in-house. So that flat steel goes through our break and shear department, gets cut up and bent up, sent over to our fabrication department where they weld the bodies together, in through our paint department, to our assembly department from there, and then to our final mounting and final assembly of any custom items like a compressor, cranes, or the hoist under the dump bodies. And from there, it goes to our wash bay final inspection and to either our customers or to a dealership.
That's a very extensive process. And so let me ask you, for you, where does your position come in? Like, what's your day-to-day look like specifically in that upfitting process?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in the automotive industry for a little over 20 years. I'm the director of the technical operations here at Scelzi. So my day-to-day role is overseeing the technical integration, quality control, managing strategic partnerships. So I'm heavily involved in making sure our installs are clean and take advantage of all the latest tools that are available for us.
So you truly are a wealth of knowledge and experience. That's great. So let me ask you specifically about Ford Pro services and features. How are you utilizing Ford Pro right now in the day-to-day operation?
Yeah, so internally we use Ford Pro telematics on our sales fleet. So we use that for things like tracking usage, scheduling maintenance, maintaining the mileage on those units. So on the upfitter side, we use the Ford Vehicle Integration System 2.0. And we use that because it gives us the ability to tie our equipment into the chassis cleanly with minimal cutting into factory wiring and the adding additional unnecessary aftermarket control modules.
Okay, so what I hear you saying in utilizing the Vehicle Integration System 2.0, does that make the process, because it's in the chassis, does that make the process easier to duplicate or to handle larger orders for fleets?
Yeah, so using the Vehicle Integration System 2.0, we're able to save our logic for each particular build on the system. So we can build 13 to 150 unit builds, all the same. So the same operator can get into any one of those units in that fleet, and all the controls will be laid out the same way, and all the functions are going to function the same no matter what unit they're in.
That's some great insight, Scott. Now, what I hear you saying, and I want to make sure to clarify for our viewers out there, what I hear you saying is that with the Vehicle Integration System 2.0, you're basically able to duplicate the same build, whether it be for one vehicle or 50 to 100 vehicles. Now, if I'm understanding, one of the advantages of that, and I think you mentioned it by saying that I can hop in any of those vehicles and kind of have the same end user experience. Has that been different in the past? Like, would it be slight variations through multiple builds in the past versus kind of the process with the Vehicle Integration System 2.0?
Yes, in the past, we've had to use auxiliary upfitter switches or switches placed in the dash for the switch section of that. So sometimes they're laid out in a different orientation where the end user operator wouldn't be used to the same orientation in every unit of that fleet. So now with the Vehicle Integration System, we're able to lay it all out the same. So no matter what unit they're in, that head unit, that screen where all the soft switches are located is going to be exactly the same. All the interlocks and functions of the Vehicle Integration System that we have programmed is all laid out the same to where the operator knows how everything's going to function.
That's good to hear. So what about thinking like future forward? If, let's say, for instance, their fleet grows, or maybe some of the technology gets upgraded, or maybe even they need to change their upfit, do they have the ability to do that? And how would that work if they brought the vehicles back to you and say, hey, we need to add, I don't know, X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the Vehicle Integration System 2.0, we're able to save all our logic onto our system. So in the future, any unit that is upfitted onto a Ford chassis, we can install that same logic on that chassis. So the operator can go from his old truck into his new unit and it operate the exact same as his old unit.
That's great. So it sounds like this system is able to go and grow with the business, which is, I think, is phenomenal. Now, last question before we get out of here, because I definitely appreciate your time and the insight that you've shared. If someone was, had a question for you, just from your perspective, and they say, hey, why do I want to implement the Ford Pro system services and then the Vehicle Integration System 2.0? What kind of tidbit or golden nugget might you share with them about, why this system would be beneficial to a fleet manager or owner?
I think the biggest thing is how user-friendly the system is, not only for an actual user, but for an upfitter as well. For us to be able to just download this program and our switches be set up the way they're supposed to be. Our technicians are able to go in there. They know where the wires go. They know where they're coming out of. So it's saving us time. It's saving us money. And it's just the user-friendliness across the board has been really good.
And I definitely, what I hear you saying is it just adds that extra layer of comfort and confidence when they get behind the wheel, whether it be one of the vehicles in the fleet or the 40th vehicle in the fleet. It gives them that certain confidence when they do get behind the wheel, or even when they have their driver get out on the road to answer a call. So, Scott, I don't know that I could say anything else. I think you've done a great job of covering everything and really making it digestible for our viewers out there. So I appreciate your insight and just the clear and concise information that you delivered. And I just want you to have a great rest of the day. And hopefully we'll get a chance to sit down and do this again.
Absolutely. I look forward to doing it again with you.
Before we wrap here today, we're going to check in with Andrew Brown again. He knows all about the upfits possible with the available Vehicle Integration System 2.0 and how they can enhance a vehicle like the Ford Super Duty.
All right, it's Andrew again, and I'm back with the Super Duty chassis cab with an upfit on it to show you a little bit more about the Vehicle Integration System 2.0. So this truck has a standard service body on it, and all the electrical features on the upfit are powered and controlled by the Vehicle Integration System 2.0. So the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 was first offered on Super Duty in 2023 model year. Currently, it's optional on all Super Duty pickups and XL chassis cabs, and it's standard on XLT and Lariat chassis cabs. In 2024, we brought it to the Police Interceptor Utility and the F-150 Police Responder vehicles. New for 2026, we're now bringing the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 to transit, where it's standard on the chassis cabs and cutaways and optional on the cargo van. It's also available on the E-Transit. All right, now we'll do a walk around to this truck to show you how it's upfit. Up here in front, we have an LED light bar. This is something you might see off-road or at a job site to produce additional lighting. So from here, we'll go back to the service body. So standard service bodies have compartment doors like this. This one's unique because it has locking sub-compartment doors. One neat feature of the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 is it allows you to control those locks with the factory key fob. So with the press of a button, you're able to lock both the truck and the service body at the same time. Additionally, it allows you to get rid of a secondary key fob that most operators have to carry around in their pocket today. So from here, we'll go on to the back of the truck. We'll see that we have some additional lighting. So we have some strobe lights right here. There are strobe lights on top of the service body. Back here with the tailgate, we have a plunger switch installed. This operates as an ajar switch so that you can know when certain compartments or the tailgate are open or closed on your upfit. So from here, we'll hop inside the truck and show you more about the Vehicle Integration System 2.0. Now that we're inside the truck, let's take a look at the Vehicle Integration System 2.0 module. So the module location will vary from vehicle line to vehicle line, but on Super Duty, this module is located behind the glove box. So this module is the single point of access to over 100 different CAN signals for the upfitter. These CAN signals cover a wide variety of functions and fall into 8 different categories. So now, how does the operator access the Vehicle Integration System 2.0? Let's take a look at the vehicle touchscreen. So from the Features tab on the vehicle's touchscreen, they can access the Upfit Controls button. From here, they're able to see upfitter soft buttons that have been programmed onto the module. So as an upfitter or a dealer, they have the ability to program over 32 different soft switches. They have the ability to customize the text and the icon that goes on each one of these switches. You have 8 soft switches per page for up to 4 pages that the user can then scroll through. One feature that adds security to the vehicle is the shift interlock function. As the upfitter, they're able to program logic to prevent the vehicle from shifting out of park under certain conditions. In this condition, when the door is open, the vehicle will not be able to shift out of park. At the same time, the upfitter is able to program custom warning messages. So you see here, as the door was opened, a warning message came up to indicate to the customer, please close the door to shift out of park. We close the door. Now the vehicle can be shifted out of the park. So next, we have strobe light functions. So this vehicle also has traditional upfitter switches. These are on-off switches that can control things like strobe lighting. The Vehicle Integration System 2.0 can do this and more. So we have a function here called All Strobes that mimics the function of the upfitter switches. It's a simple on-off button. The next function we show here is called Roadside Mode. This takes that a step further. When this mode's engaged, the strobe lights will only come on when the door is open. The Vehicle Integration System 2.0 is able to access the vehicle door ajar signal and then turn on the strobe lights only when the door is open. This is a great feature to use for a crew working on the side of the road, as it makes it a lot simpler for them as they don't have to continually turn on an upfitter switch when they get out of the truck. Another feature we have here is called Off-Road Mode. So if you remember from before, there's a large LED light bar on the front of the truck. When this off-road mode is turned on, the operator is actually able to activate the light bar using the factory high beam switch. When this function is turned off, using the high beam switch will only turn on the vehicle high beams. What this does is it allows the use of logic and existing vehicle switches to control parts of the upfit.
There you have it, folks. Those are all the interviews we have for today's webinar. Big thanks to Andrew Brown and our guest, Scott Martson. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. But before we go, we want to make sure that we're providing you with the most valuable information to your business. So we'd love for you to scan the QR code on the screen now and complete a short survey. This will help us out immensely. Thanks again for joining us today. Go to FordPro.com for more resources and to get started with Ford Pro. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one.